Hello and welcome back to Gamedec. So, we are investigating the murder of our friend and partner Ken Zhao, who was just about to start investigating some things of his own, and well, it seems a little too coincidental. So, what we're going to do is we're going to continue exploring the crime scene, find out how he died, and then hopefully we're going to end up with a better outcome than I had at the end of the demo, which, if you didn't watch it, was everybody involved died, which I gotta say is a pretty bad ending, all things considered. So, let's do some deduction. I'm also hoping that it'll go better because I actually know what I'm doing. Like, I know the world a little bit more. There was a lot of missing lore all around. There was a lot of things that weren't quite there, and I, to be honest, had absolutely no idea who Ken was, which didn't really help very much, as it kind of assumed that you would. So, let's look at our three hypotheses. We have the MCC beacon hypothesis. In that, there was a beacon that's meant to kill mutated creatures, and it mistook Ken for a mutated creature, and blast, he's dead. It uses plasma weapons. We have the accident hypothesis, which is that his anti-G harness failed. He fell to his death, and that's that. It's as simple as an equipment malfunction. And then we have the gunshot hypothesis, which is that, well, he's in a rough area of town, he's got a little bit of wealth, he gets shot, and that's it. And then we have a last one, which we have no details on, but hopefully we'll be able to find out what that is as we progress. There's also very few paths from this one, so what I'm wondering is whether this one's a fail state. Like whether it's a gunshot hypothesis goes out here, and then goes into this, and you can be like, well, I just don't know who it is, and then that's the end of the investigation. But anyway, let's have a look at this piece of graffiti. Analyze it. Can you afford a Gamedec? Sidewalk graffiti was not a common sight. This one was made with permanent paint, so the colour stayed vivid despite attempts at heavy cleaning. Under a large inscription that said "Analyze it," there was a smaller one. The end of iteration is near. That is not what that says. Was it really? That was how ward drivers marked the city system control networks they had opened. Let's look for access. These places are described as interfering. It has something to do with harmonic oscillation. I didn't quite get it, but I knew how to look. I gained access to devices connected to the city Reconstructing network. Bizarre name. Look for drones. I issued some commands and the system displayed all surveillance drones within its range. Rami, Pantalon, and Outranger. Okay, well these seem to match up with the drone we saw down here somewhere, but I don't really know what we do with this. Okay, well we have access to it now, I guess. Let's continue exploring. Now, when I loaded in, I did see a couple people from here wander over this way. Ah, there they are. So we'll have a little chat to these ones. Martin32, hashtag I love pierogies. The guy was skinny, wore massive glasses with a secondary active pair on his neck, and some brightly glowing digital lenses in his eyes. He kept looking around impatiently, as if looking for something beautiful, ugly, sensational, inspirational. That I didn't know. Yes, I'm that famous director. No, I don't have a role for you, though visually you'd fit right in. All the important stuff, please. I'm, busy. Okay. Who is he? A Martin32 has a thing, however, he does not have a picture. The first question for our guest, the controversial director known as Martin32. Forgive me, I cannot pronounce his full name. Martin? Yes. Are you ready for a flurry of questions? Always. Is it true you like pierogi? I love pierogi. What was your best film? Or what is your best film? How I Unleashed the Second Media War. The worst one? That one is yet to be made. What do you love? Mobriums. What do you hate? AI is despicable when inanimate objects try to imitate people. You've never made a Hollow movie with digital actors? Ganesha forbids. What do you strive for? Perfection. Your biggest blunder? Oh, let me think. Oh, I've got it. Nahum Stein, the lead actor in Stars and Stars, came on set in a suit whose middle layer would have non-Newton liquid, which is a kind of liquid that solidifies on impact. That day we were going to shoot a scene where Jessica Ban punches him in the stomach. She's a powerful woman. So what happened? The night before, Nahum was showing off in a bar wearing the exact same suit he had borrowed from Jasmine, her costume designer, without my knowledge and very secretively. He was so wasted he couldn't see the leaks from some of his stomach pockets. I think I know where this is going. We started shooting, Jessica hit him and he bent over and spat blood. The crew was panic-struck. A doctor with a medibot were on set. We always have one when we shoot violent scenes. The robot put some pipe in his mouth, stitched something up, and in the end the scene looked so good it actually was better than all of Stars and Stars. In fact, it's in the extras, and we made more from that than from the Hollow movie. So it wasn't really a blunder. No, not really. Anyway, I realized then how fragile life was. Oh, alright. Oh, we have some technology stuff. Hollow movie. A holographic three-dimensional movie. Most of the Hollow movies made in the end of the 22nd century are interactive and can be experienced from within by observing the actions through a 360-degree field of view. They can be watched in AR through standard glasses, in a seated or standing position, or virtually on the net. The aforementioned interactivity means the viewer can make key decisions for the Hollow movie's characters. Modern Hollow movies are made both in Realium and in Virtualia. Some are produced exclusively in digital environments and hire digital actors, advanced artificial intelligence. That would definitely be a challenge if you were to make a movie that had a 360-degree field of view that the viewer could change. Because quite a lot of movies are made with, like, you know, a little bit of movie magic. Not everything looks as it does on the screen, right? Obviously. The sets are all very two-dimensional and they're all very shot at the right angles, or they have a lot of CGI in them to make them look just right. But if you had to do that for a 360-degree view, that would just be a crazy amount of work. It would be cool, but to get it so that the viewer experienced it properly without imagine that you had a viewer and all they were doing is looking at the ground, right? Or like a small piece of nothing. And you're trying to tell this emotional story. It just doesn't work. It's just an interesting concept, as it's probably not that far away that somebody tries to make something like that in, in our reality. So, just interesting. Anyway, Warsaw City. The dark web. Ward driving. The net is everywhere. Unlike in the bad old days, ward driving is no longer a synonym for searching for a signal. There actually used to be places where you couldn't find one. Today, ward driving means looking for holes in the net, and there are holes in realistically defined places. In Realium, how come? What's blue? I don't know why. Oh, I guess it just... I don't know why that was blue. Anyway. Well, people like to imagine that the net is like an ocean, a smooth or slightly wavy surface of one giant reservoir. This is not the case. The net is made up of millions of tiny overlapping bubbles or watery spheres. These spheres are generated by millions of devices that together create the net. Most of these devices are fully synchronized with each other, hence the illusion of a smooth surface. There are, however, bubbles that interfere with each other, causing a kind of harmonic vibration that leads to cyclical desynchronizations. It's as if you observe the waves from the shore and realize that they continuously grow in height up to, let's say, the 9th wave, which is disproportionately large, then comes to the 10th one, hilariously small. But then you notice that the following waves get bigger again, up to the 9th one. That's what happens in these places. Every 10th wave is different, desynchronized. There are weak spots that you can easily crack to enter the net and start messing around. War drivers mark them with signals, usually on walkways. In the bad old days, they used chalk. They called it war chalking. But it was too easy to wash off. Nowadays, we have special paints, bright, distinctive, and durable, so the pros can easily recognize them. If you want access to the net, that's what you should look for. Interesting. Okay. What are we going to ask? Only important stuff. How long have you been here? Have you been here long? Well, a while. Still, should have come sooner. They say some guy fell from the sky, or at least that's what I heard. That's what I heard, at least. That's why we're here, actually. A guy from the sky. Rangers arrive. Mac and I receive word and come too. Do you have anything on the captain? I thought I'd try and placate him first. Show business, huh? They say it's a bitch of an industry. He looked at me as if to say, yeah, tell me about it. Duh. Making a horror movie must be tough, huh? The producer always wants to get their way, competition biting at your heels. They push some young talent on you, some exec's failure of a son. Man, you have to have nerves of steel or connections. Advertising is a better business. If you don't know how to swim with the sharks, you better keep out of the water. Okay. What did we learn? Accident? Somebody saw him fall down. Interesting. Make reference to the connections? Yeah, connections are a must. Since we've gotten to know one another, could you help me? There's a shark here, the captain. Got anything on him? Of course. I mean, I did film the guy beating up a Medibot. The question is, though, why should I give it to you? Mindfluencer, invoke the law! I am an informational officer. They call us in-offs because we go inside people's lives and can turn some things off. When an incident like this takes place, people like me should have access to relevant documentation. I'm asking you to hand it over. The man eyed me up and down, barely holding back a laugh. Buddy, have you heard about copyright and freedom of speech? Get out of here. Oh. So, it turns out that just because we have the ability to say something doesn't necessarily mean that we should. Good lesson to learn. Alright, asked about the Outranger and the Mobrium. That big green Mobrium and the Outranger inside it. Can you tell me something about her? Tancred, fascinating story. Could make for a great horror movie. We're getting ready to film a feature on her. That's why we're here. Tancred. News from beyond the barriers. Today in the Campinu forest area northwest of Warsaw City, there was a tragic accident 3 kilometers from an ABB in section WC 1254958. A team of Outrangers patrolling their assigned quadrant got a distress call from a group of tourists who ventured beyond the barrier without valid pheromone implants for this season. The team arrived on the scene within a minute using a Beowulf-class transporter. The group of 5 tourists was surrounded by a pack of lynx fulminans species and a flock of Ara toxica parrots. Visibility was limited by a swarm of bees, wasps, and mosquitoes. The squad proceeded to extract the tourists while firing at the aggressive animals. Everyone was saved, although 3 were seriously injured and 1 person lost an arm. As it turned out, the Beowulf, damaged in battle, could not carry everyone, so the commander decided that the transporter would take the survivors directly to the hospital while the squad reached the ABB on foot. It was a very difficult and dramatic decision made after a brief consultation with the other team members. The tourists' recklessness and their body and blood odors alerted other nearby animals. The Outrangers forced their way through the jungle, continuing to fire. While they were aided by a summoned MCC beacon, the animals continued to grow in number. At the request of the Outrangers headquarters, we will not disclose the personal details of the squad members. We were authorized to reveal only one, Sergeant Tancred Brute. Or Brute? Brute? Anyway, during the continuing battle and march through the wilderness, another Outranger team was called as the commander realized that due to the amount of aggression from Warsaw's fauna, they could not make it back to the barrier. More and more were wounded until only one fit for fighting was Sergeant Brute. The commander and other squad members report that Tancred single-handedly gathered those who couldn't walk into a clearing where a transporter was supposed to arrive. She then covered them, and when she ran out of ammo, she engaged in melee combat with the still incoming lynx, parrots, and other animals. Her body was butchered. Even her augmented armor worn by Outrangers on patrol outside the ABBs didn't help. The extraction unit arrived at the last moment. The survivors were taken aboard the Outranger vehicle while the remains of Sergeant Brute were carried onto a medical transport where machines performed a decapitation of the brave Outranger, saving her life. Sergeant Tancred Brute has been nominated for the Crimson Heart Medal, the Ouranger's highest honor. We know that her life and the lives of the squad members and tourists are not in danger. We salute the brave Outrangers and are grateful for their commitment, and to the reckless tourist, a word of warning about forays beyond the ABBs. They're extremely dangerous. If you don't have the appropriate implants, it's like asking for death. Stock market report coming to you after the break. Alright, so Tancred Brute saved all of oh, interesting like little ornaments on there. Are those Native American themed, I guess? Anyway, Tancred Brute saved the squad, lost the body, and has now had themselves implanted into one of these mobriums. Interesting. Problem is, she has therapeutic programs that activate upon feeling strong emotions. Then she becomes hard to talk to. Let's talk about the art and weather. Darkness, rain, the ruins of Warsaw below us. Great setting for a horror movie, right? And damned right, don't have to change anything, really. But it's always been that way. The story matters more than the scenery. Effects, animation, makeup, it's so easy to get that stuff done that the damn AIs could handle it. We have a shortage of stories that don't tickle some vain instinct, but move you to the core. Dialogues, characters, that's what I'm after. Okay. Hello, Mac. It was a gynoid, a humanoid resembling a woman. Green lips and green makeup. Hard to say if it was real or illusory. Looked like she was posing for a micro camera. I couldn't see the device, so couldn't say for sure. Her mechanical face expressed seductive contemplation as she arched and curved her figure. Hello, who are you? Who are you, anyway? You don't know me, how embarrassing. Mac Bohr, actress and first model to pose in a mobrium. I thought my fame was... Ugh, never mind. I'm getting ready for a role. We'll be reenacting this story of Tancred, one of the Greens. I hope I do well. Are you a robot? I don't mean to offend you, but I honestly don't know if I'm talking to a robot or a woman using a mobrium, so could you... Excuse me, I am human. My brain is sitting in the belly of this beautiful mobrium. But I understand your confusion. This one's a purr shell. They're made to order. It captures my real features. Cool, right? Let's ask about the Outrangers. What do you think about the Outrangers? Interesting question. Until now, I thought they were just nature-loving simpletons that hated technology. But get this, the famous troublemaker Rama Matan of Sydneyland is one of them. That guy knows how to party, see for yourself. She blinked her metallic eyelids and sent me a link to the article. Okay, let's ask about Ken's death. I'm here because of that guy's death. Do you know anything? No, Martin told me something cool was happening in Low City and that I could do research for my role, so here we came. Oh, the poor guy was already dead. Okay. Did we actually get an article? We did! Okay, so we discovered something on Captain Matan. Scandal at the Matans. Speaking of Australian millionaires, did you hear about the Matans? I didn't, tell me. Their youngest, you know him, Rama? A well-known mischief maker, that one. He's only young biologically, though. He got himself a BLB recently. Yes, I know, and not a BLB, but a mobrium. They stopped reproducing to protect themselves against losing their fortune. Anyway, picture this. They threw a party in that high sky sphere, the largest and highest in Sydneyland, obviously. And wholly owned by the Matans. God, how I'd love to marry one of them. Hang on, the party, right? Drones flying around, champagne for 3,000 credits a bottle, the social creme de la creme, an opera singer, what was her name? Sophia Turnberg? Ah, yes, her. She's on this hovering anti-G stage. It's like a dream. The music, the applause, and everything. And you have frames made from actual gold flying around, displaying masterpieces of that painter. Shoot, what is it with me and names today? Emmanuel Rex. Ah, that's it. Yes, his art is a bit unsettling, right? It looks like reality is passing through each other. It was actually a charity auction. I think they raised money for extending the ABB barriers to areas belonging to Aborigines or something. The ocean flooded quite a bit of land there, you know. Right. Now, listen to this. One of the drones that poured champagne was actually controlled by Rama. I hear he's quite tech-savvy. It looked like the machine was just flying around pouring drinks, but was taking photos and recording the unsuspecting guests. God! And the son of a gun put it all on the screen, all on the screens at one point. Suddenly, the audience sees Miss Turnberg's terrible armpit wrinkle, because, you know, she's a natural and doesn't do any plastic surgery, with a caption that says, "Gross." No! And Mr. Rex's ear wrinkle, cause, as artists often do, he wants to age with dignity, and his words, "You've got to be kidding me, the Matans are idiots. They know as much about art as Aborigines do about astronomy." He said that? Seriously? Seriously, but that's not all. Lady Hamilton, she was there too? Sure she was. That sneaky bastard Rami recorded her too. First he zoomed in on her nose hair, then he showed what she had said. What do you think? when that old fool realizes that Tadja is cheating on him. Wait, but Tadja is the wife of Rama's father Romulus, right? And she's cheating on him? According to Lady Hamilton, she is. These are just 3 of some 20 tasty bits which Rama treated his guests. He managed to turn everyone against each other. Then Delia Matan, the family matriarch in charge of the Empire's assets and liabilities, told his grandson to... Wait, how did she put it? Well... The woman basically banished and disinherited him. She said he had to spend 10 years living like a low-city commoner, deprived of luxuries and exposed to dangers and hardships, or else he'd lose all claims to the fortune. Then she banished him from Australia. Oh man, and if he lasts 10 years? Then he'll come back into her favour. But do you realise what 10 years without luxuries must mean to a dandy like him? Oh, jokes from down under. Okay, so that was Greta Ham and Julia von Sydow. Okay. We learned a lot there. Anything else that we got? No. Okay. But we know that that guy's here. I believe he was down south somewhere. Want to speak to Tancred? Sure. So this is Behemoth or Fabio. Alright. But we got past choices have allowed us to get to Fabio? Interesting. A virtual projection of a bird perched itself on the Mobium's shoulder and stared at me with its huge black eyes while sharpening its claws. Hey, moron, my name is Fabio, because I'm fucking fabulous. If I was a brain fixer, I could lower the stress level or raise the stress level, but I am not, so I can't do that. I want to actually go to professions. I'm close to brain fixer. Yeah, but I need 3 puzzle pieces, so I'm not close to brain fixer. What's up with this? The malfunctioning MCC beacon had been dragged down to the pavement and was clumsily swaying on the drift field. Alright. Check the technical name. Open the device logs. The beacon's technical name was 047 MCC 723627 Tank Junior. Ooh, that was a thing that we saw in the thing over there. Interesting. Technical specifications. Long-range scanners, high-quality cameras and microphones, quantum noses capable of differentiating 4 trillion smells. A plasma gun with adjustable power and caliber. In a nutshell, a must-have in every household. Check the gun registry. I opened up the window that monitored gun functions and started looking through the data. The last shot was registered the week before, aimed at a rat climbing up a nearby tower. The rodent was hit, fell off the wall and did not return. The beacon's guns hadn't fired once since then. Interesting. Alright, well that's something that we can do. We can also remove the battery, but I don't see a reason to do that just yet. Alright. Hack it. Tank Junior. I entered the name, got the Medibot's frequency. I had to reset it, I had to overload its systems. And to do that, I needed adequate network resources. Use the city network resources? Filter by location? Is there like a back out? Stop hacking. Yeah, okay. So it gave us some locations. Now, this was something, right? Oh, what's this? More trash? Trash, search it. I'm in. What have you got for me in the trash? There's nothing there. Okay. Just below the top layer, reach some sticky liquid. Probably the same stuff that ran down the sides of the bin. Reach deeper. Plunged my hand deeper, pushing through things I didn't want to picture. The tips of my fingers finally reached a warm metal object. Take it. I pulled out a metal box and wiped the slime off. It was a Medibot battery. That got me interested. Okay, well I have a Medibot battery. Look for drones. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go here, I think. Technical name. 47. Okay. So let's try 47 on this. Wait, no, wait. Back over here. Yeah, 47. Okay, let's try it. I don't really know what I'm doing. Can I quick save? I just did quick save. Okay. What am I doing? Hack it. I want to get into Tank Junior. Network resources, location 47. Screw you, hacker. Alright, it must be one of the Rami ones, right? So let's go see what the numbers are on our Rami one. Okay. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but we had a Rami one over here. 388 99045 Rami. 388. Okay. Let's see what we can find. Hack it. Tank Junior. Network resources 47. That one. I hoped I'd done everything right. At that point, it seemed so. Look for system defenses or check encryption protocol. I made sure to get the encryption right. The MCC beacon used the KGS protocol. Okay. Look for defense systems. No doubt someone would have noticed my tinkering if I used a lower level device. I hoped I'd done everything right at that point. It seemed so. I must have broken something. It could no longer be accessed. Or so I thought. The device still worked. I must have hacked another beacon. Wait, what did I do? I had to find the right... Wait, so I hacked a beacon? But did I hack Tank Junior? Did I hack this one? Maybe? No. Did I hack this one? I don't know what I did. Okay, so that's not right. So I think I hacked Tank Junior instead of hacking whatever this one was. Okay. I had to find the right name. So this is 50. So it might be 47. Let's try this one. Okay. Oh, wait. That's suggesting I want to hack the Metabot. Stop hacking. Oh, that's suggesting I would want to hack this, I think. Okay, that's not what I want to do. Okay, we're fine. Wait, can I look in this trash? No. Okay. Background again. So if I wanted to hack this. So it's either Pantaloon, Outranger, or Rami. 47. So that's Rami. That's the correct one for Rami. Okay. Tank Junior? Nope. Okay, okay. My attack started slowing down, then stopped, then started going back. Must have initiated the defense system. I cursed. I need this to work. Look for defense systems. I combed through the code and found security features. I knew my intrusion would be detected if I used a device with a logged in user. Encryption protocol. NCP. We did it. I damaged the drone. There was no way I could use it. Hey, did you just break the drone? In order to break something, you need to know how to do that, man. Is that the drone you're talking about? That flying thingy? The man looked at me suspicious. Let's say I believe you. Hello. He winced and waved at me to stop as I approached. Okay, so I think I just broke my drone. I'm gonna reload the quick save. Right, let's load the quick save. Because that was obviously incorrect. Whatever I did there was incorrect. Right. Let's try this again. So, I think what I want to do is I want to go here. Hack it. I think it is Rami. Check for defense systems. I combed through the code and found security features. I knew my intrusion would be detected if I used a device with a logged in user. Okay. Check encryption protocol. NCP. Then Network resources. Filter by location 47 Tank Junior. My attack started slowing down and started going back. I must have initiated the defense system. Oh, that was the logged in user thing. Right, stop hacking. Can I start again? Rami. Defense systems. Okay. Encryption protocol. Damaged the drone, there was no way I could use it. What? I broke it. Okay, that's... well, that was obviously incorrect, I would say. I don't know what I did, but I know it was incorrect. Maybe it's because Tank Junior is logged in. I need to find a thing that isn't logged in, maybe. Wait, what have we got? So I think Rami is the right one. Yes, I think Rami is the right one. We just have to not use Tank Junior. Okay, let's try something else. Hack it. Rami. Look for defense systems. Okay. Then, encryption protocol. Okay. Then, network resources. By location 50. I'm seeing if I recognize any of these. I don't. Okay. Back out to menu. 45. 47. That's wrong. Tank Junior, I think, is a bait. Back. Let me return to the menu. Improvise? Game decks can sometimes use a kind of magic. Improvise tricks based on their intuition. Maybe not the best idea, but it was worth a try. I hoped I'd done everything right. At that point, it seemed so. I damaged the drone. There was no way I could use it. Alright, so whatever I'm doing is not correct here. Okay. That is definitely not right. So I think I want system takeover. We got system takeover a little bit once. I just don't know how we get further into system takeover. That's the thing. Do we know? We got a codex on hacking, didn't we? Oh, right, there's more here. Vigorous batteries. An energy storage device widely used around the world. Ever since the invention of Vigorous batteries by the Mobelium conglomerate in the 2130s, its working principle has remained a subject of speculation, similar to anti-G technology. X-ray analyses suggest that the batteries might use nuclear fusion or fission. It's impossible to dismantle a Vigorous battery outside of a Mobelium's specialist laboratories. Although experts in international economic law speak out against the way Mobelium keeps their technology a secret, for reasons unknown to most lawyers, the conglomerate still hasn't disclosed most of its patents. See also Lex Occulta. Dual mask therapy. Sorry, Professor, but could you tell us again how exactly this therapy works? I have to admit, I didn't quite understand your explanation. Oh, pardon me, I always go too fast. My students get confused. I'm not your student, sir. No, that's a pity. So, about this therapy. Yes. The two masks therapy is the latest creation of the Ease Your Mind company, EYM for short. It's been developed exclusively for the owners of Mobriums, and to be perfectly honest, I'm skeptical about the solution. You already said that, sir. I would like me to explain how it works. Yes, sorry. The two-mask therapy is offered to people who have experienced severe psychological trauma and suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. EYM has built a program, or rather a therapeutic game, that reaches quite deep into the patient's psyche. Could you say more? Or yes. The basic rule of therapy says that it should allow the client or patient to deal with reality together with its challenges, stresses and problems on their own. They should be able to maintain a certain balance between regression and aggression. Which means regression is a return to childhood behavior. But isn't that healthy? It is, but not when you're faced with an important decision. It is not the time for thumb-sucking and daydreaming, you know what I mean. I do. Now, the aggression is the opposite of regression, excessive stress that leads to an unhealthy confrontation such as inflicting pain on yourself or others. What does it have to do with the two-mask therapy? Well, two masks control the client's stress level. As long as it's optimal, they don't interfere, but as soon as its value crosses a minimum or maximum threshold, one of the two masks is activated. The patient can only choose their names and appearance, everything else is controlled by the program. And how does it work? Well, let's assume the patient's stress level has exceeded the maximum threshold. The corresponding mask, let's call it Bobby, activates and three things happen. First of all, the person talking to the patient begins to see Bobby as a clear sign that the therapeutic program has been activated. Secondly, the patient's consciousness is transferred to a mini virtualium where they can learn to deal with excessive stress in controlled conditions. It's like a combat training room. So we could say that the patient gets switched off. Yes and no. Bobby is a program that synchronizes with certain areas of the patient's psyche. This way, the person talking to a patient can receive clear signals about what led them to switching off. That's exactly what concerns me most about the therapeutic program. Those Bobbies can act quite strangely. Instead of explaining what caused stress for the patient, they make people around them uncomfortable. Still, it's the client that goes through the therapy, not the people around them. It's not that simple. The patient's families could be in pain too. Besides, Bobbies sometimes break into volatile areas of the psyche and start to manipulate their interlocutors. Personally, I advise against this kind of therapy, and I don't know why Uniformed Services, the Outrangers to be specific, have decided to purchase this program. There are better, well-tested options. Maybe because Bobbies can take the forms of animated animals? Maybe, or maybe because EYM has won the tender by tanking the price. You say the program has been developed exclusively for owners of mobriums. Why is that? Because of the mini virtualia. Only owners of mobriums can switch off in the middle of a walkway and almost immediately enter a virtualium. Organics need couches for that. That's fair. What's the second Bobby do, the one that activates due to excessive regression? When the second Bobby activates, the patient enters a virtualium where they can grow up and face challenges while remaining in a pleasant state of regression, in a nutshell. Well, like what I'm hearing, you've convinced me. I don't like it at all. Believe me, you shouldn't mess around with a person's psyche at such a deep level as Two Masks does. It reminds me of cases from the game called Abyss. I don't advise it. Interesting. So that's what's going on over here, I would assume. Right, I've saved the game a little closer to the drone. What about this tourist terminal? Has it got a thing? I was wondering whether we can maybe activate it somehow. No. Okay, so let's have a look up here at the information that we have. So I have drones, and we're fairly certain that this one is Rami, the one I'm trying to activate. Yeah. It's probably Rami. It could be Pantalon, but I think it's Rami. They've all got the same code, but I think it's the top one. Okay. So what about you? Do you have a name for me? MCC Beacon. I had to find the right name. Okay. MCC 50 or 47? What about that one? Alright, stop hacking. So wait, so it's MCC 50 MCC 793. Alright, 50 MCC 793. It ends in LNG. 50 MCC. Okay. Right, so we hack it. We're fairly certain that it's Rami based upon the numbers. I'm going to use network resources by location. 50 MCC 793. That one. Oh ho ho ho! Look at that. Okay. So I could try network resources again if I wanted to. Improvise? Probably not the best thing to improvise. No, okay. Stop hacking. Hack it. Rami. Network resources. 50. I think I've already used it. Yeah, okay. Stop hacking, leave. Reload. Okay. So, we have to find 2 network resources that work. We found one earlier as well though, didn't we? The Tank Junior one did actually work, but it activated the defense system. Okay. So let's try this again. Rami. Did this make it move to the right? No, okay. Stop hacking. Reset. Okay. So if you do anything like check, then you have to reset. I think. Well, or you need to get the right answer to other ones. Okay. This one. Hack it. Rami. Network resources, 50. That one. Okay. Network resources. Filter by device type. LMP, maybe? No, I think I need another device. Maybe if I can choose the Medibot. Stop hacking. I'm going to reload again, because I think it doesn't like you doing it multiple times. As it doesn't like you going back into the menu. Let's try and find another device that's not logged in. We know that this one's Tank Junior. Right? We can use it in theory. 47 MCC 723 Tank Junior. Okay. What about you? Inspect. The device had 2 multi-joint limbs, but certainly had more manipulators up its sleeves as well. We'll try and hack it. Which one do we think it is? It's either Hoffman. It's probably PAX, right? So MDB PAX 02B 47. Okay. Let's try that. So maybe if I can use that to hack this. Hack it. Rami. City resources 47. So it's not there. Okay, interesting. We know Tank Junior is there. Back to menu. It was... wait, back. Get me out of here. Location 50. It was this one. Yeah. That's fine. Followed by network resources, location 47. Do I remember what type it was for the other one? What type was that? Was that an MCC as well? Let's try Tank Junior. It unlocked it. Cool. My attack started slowing down, then stopped, then started going back. I must have initiated the defense system. I cursed this needed to work. I received a notification about being granted access. It worked. I gained access to the drone. I looked around. There were several cameras on lampposts, but their lenses were smeared and their joints immobilized. One glance at the body confirmed what I feared. None of them could have seen what happened. But if I gathered all their data, reflections and smooth surfaces, shadows and so on, I would be able to piece together what happened to Ken. Virtulium. Gamedecs. This one. Integrated shadows. In more shady districts, I'm talking about Relium here, the landscape is always the same. Immobilized cameras or screens covered in some gooey substance, but never completely, as a piece of glass is always left clean. It's an old trick lowlifes use. Destroying a camera or blocking its lens completely would trigger the dispatch of a repair crew that will either fix or replace the device. While there, the crew would also take a look at other cameras in the area and clean them. So instead of destroying these devices, the thieving sneaks cripple and position them in such ways as to create a few blind spots. However, there are ways to see what the cameras miss. It takes some skill to pull off. The method is called integrating shadows. The name has a certain poetic ring to it, doesn't it? The short version of how it works is that before you get to work on the cameras, you must gain control over some government or quasi-government controlled device that has access to camera surveillance systems. Drones are your best bet here. Firefighting drones, police drones, the outranger drones, military drones, although those last ones are harder to hack. Once you gain control of a drone, fly it to the nearest camera and establish a connection via the drone. Then, your eyewear, glasses or lenses, will display an animation of lines running to the nearest information nodes. These days, they stuff tronics and everything. Walkways, railings, anti-G aprons, even fucking park benches. Everything's connected. If it's not fucking wired, it's wireless, but old infrastructure usually has wires. Your job is to use these nodes to create a network connecting the maximal number of cameras in the vicinity of the location you're interested in. Once you've created such a network, connecting say 5 cameras, this number is closer to what's considered a minimum, you'll be able to command them to generate an image of what they supposedly failed to pick up. It's fascinating to see them do it. It's really something. We're surrounded by a massive glass and reflective surfaces, our glasses, lenses, windows, vehicle windscreens, varnishes on numables, polished metal ornaments on clothing, chrome railings, smooth buttons that reflect images, city cameras, even old junkers have amazing resolutions. We also have plenty of light sources around us, light from neon signs, vehicles, advertising drones, even people with their shiny clothes or ornaments. We cast a lot of shadows, and that thing that interests you that wasn't picked up by the cameras, it also casts a shadow in many directions. From analysing these shadows and reflections, the camera system can create a convincing projection, augmented reality of course, so again you'll see it via your eyewear of what you're interested in. Integrating shadows, fuck me, that's a beautiful name. Okay, cool. I'm just going to get rid of whatever this was popping up at. Take control. I decided to play with the machine. Hacking cameras. Use the drone to gather data from each of the cameras, then compile the data to get a complete recording of Ken's fall. Nice. This one? This controls a bit weirdly. I assume that it's basically just click the button. Yep, appears to be mostly just click the button here. And this one as well. That'll give us our minimum. Anything else over here that we can have? Not really. Hacking? We got it. He looks alive. Ooh, shot after he fell. Interesting. By whoever this was. Oh! Okay. Well, I think we have some clues on how he died now. Let's leave the drone. That didn't help. A gunshot hypothesis is seeming pretty likely. It was definitely the cause of death. Okay. This one seems like nonsense. But, anyway. Hello. Yeah, he doesn't like that it was in the trash. That's fair enough. So now we've hacked into that. Okay. Where do we go from here? So I could try and break into this now, I suppose. Now that I've broken into the other one. Let's quick save. Hack it. We could try and hack into Tank Jr., I suppose. That's somewhere else. I don't know exactly which one this is. Did we think it was this one, maybe? Let's go for use city network. Well. Stop hacking. I don't know what I'm doing, so stop hacking. Yeah. So where are we at? Hello. You're just annoyed at me. Okay. Hello. We can inquire about Pax. About that Pax guy. Pax is dying. Did you know that Dr. Pax is terminally ill? So there is some justice in the world. Let him experience what the death of a body really is. Maybe then he'll understand how valuable life is. There'll be no then for him, he can't afford it. He's truly gonna die. Man's face froze. He stared at me and blinked as if he were shuffling folders in his brain. Hell, son. Alright. I forgive him his sins. He rubbed his eyes and smiled sadly. I forgive him everything. We're square. Us too, Gamedec. Can I have access to the body? I need access to the body. I'd like to take a look at it. Alright, I'll send word to my people. Nice. Okay, so we've done that. Can I speak to you again? No. Can I take your Medabot? I can just hack it, I suppose. It's Pax. Can I check the system defenses? No doubt someone would have noticed my tinkering if I used a device with a higher level than my own and needed to be careful. You know what, let's just stop hacking. I don't think we need to do this yet. That's just asking for trouble given the number of times we saw the other drone blow up. There's blood over here? Oh, that's just, you know, background blood. An outranger was leaning over Ken's body. He was pale and clearly disgusted. I can examine the body now. A dead body is a terrible sight. It's a memory of someone who once lived, a hideous, untrue, fake memory. The guy's face, as if carved from plastic, was pressed against the wet pavement like a strange, silent object. The gaze of his open eyes was angled unnaturally. Nobody's face should lie on the ground like that. The face of a corpse, maybe, because that's no longer a person. Ken. Perform a visual inspection. I lean closer. Let's start by searching him. I rummaged through his pockets. He had no personal items on him, not even a walktail. Okay. Inspect the head. The sideways facing eyes had lost any expression or gleam. They resembled those of a poorly designed MPEG. Ken didn't have anything on him. Yeah, that's interesting. The face, pulled taut by the sidewalk, looked to be smiling crudely. Check what's in his mouth. An inexplicable hunch parted his lips and put 2 fingers in his mouth. A stiff tongue, dry saliva. I shuddered. There was nothing else there. Inspect the chest. I looked at his chest. So I can check under his clothes or feel his chest. Underclothes. It looked like a small gunshot exit wound. Feel his chest? I pressed on his chest in a few spots, then tapped. Weird, it sounded hollow inside. The sound near the wound should have been flat due to extravasation. Okay. So we got 2 things here. It's a gunshot wound, so clearly not this. So this just didn't shoot him. And he has a gunshot wound. Well, that would definitely imply that he was shot by a gun. Alright. New clue? Accident. No signs of fall damage. Okay. Yeah. So we're fairly certain it wasn't a fall either. Limbs? His arms and legs were splayed awkwardly, as if he'd been doing some weird mid-air stunts before hitting the ground. Examine the hands. Gently I lifted his hand. I was stunned. The skin on the inside of his palm was clean, not a scratch or a bruise, everything in perfect condition. Unnaturally twisted limbs. I don't know what Ken was doing before he died, but his body looked like an awkwardly twisted MPEG model. I checked his other hand, same thing. His skin should have been torn if he fell and froze in this position. Roll up his pant leg. His calf was clean, no bruising. I checked the other leg and it was the same. Ken's pant leg slowly slid back down, covering up the cold, exposed body. Sleeve? Looked like he'd been struck by lightning, but the marks were off. I rubbed my eyes and took another look at Ken's arm. Nothing. I was confused. Huh. Okay. Flip the body. I grabbed Ken by the shoulders and started to gently turn him over. He was heavy and oddly resistant. One of the holographic wings disappeared into the pavement. His head bobbed and was about to collide with the pavement. I noticed something immediately flashing behind it. Look at the flash. It lasted a fraction of a second. The semi-transparent sign popped up right above Ken's head from the pavement. Zhao Arrow Darkness, level 14, HP 0. The mirage vanished. Huh. Look for an exit wound. Modern firearms produce enough kinetic force to easily blast straight through a person. I reached out to touch Ken's chest area. I retracted my hand, freshly speared with blood, and wiped it off from the guy's coat. He was my friend, so he wouldn't have minded. Ask about the wings. Translucent back wings protruded from Ken's clothing. I wonder if it was AR or hologram. I turned off my glasses, but I could still see them, a hollow. To create such an animation, Ken had to have an ilgen, or illusion generator, with him. I couldn't see it anywhere, so I turned to the Outranger. Do you see these wings? Take a guess, sir. That's why I keep fiddling with them. I can't find the ilgen that generates them. Did he swallow it? Look for a bullet? I slid my hand under Ken's... Aren't you overthinking? I'm guessing that's for finding too many clues. I slid my hand under Ken's chest again. I felt cracks in the pavement under the exit wound. I pulled out a metal object. I tore from the pavement and took a closer look. It was a bullet. Okay. Game hypothesis. Okay, so what's the hypothesis? I got carried away, or once you rule out the impossible, you have to believe the improbable. He was killed with a weapon from a game inside a game. That's crazy. That's crazy. For a moment, I saw something weird on Ken's arm, something like a magical wound. Ken has wings, but there's no ilgen. Sign above his head. For a fraction of a second, I saw a sign above Ken's head. It showed his character level and 0 hit points. Huh. Beneath the body? Not much blood, just a few stains that looked like splatter. Suspiciously little, considering it went straight through him. Ken was lying down when the shot was fired. Okay. Yeah. I'm fairly certain the gunshot was the cause of death. At this point. Right, we've already had a look at his back. We got another new clue. MCC beacon. No blood. Okay, surprisingly little amount of blood. Scorches the blood vessels. Got a gunshot wound on his chest. No shot was registered as being fired. Not much blood. There was surprisingly little blood from the wound. Fairly certain he did get shot though, because we saw it happen. End the inspection. Leave. Okay, did we get something else in here? No. Okay. Can I speak to you again? Let's ask about Tancred. You tell me something about the girl in the large mobrium, Tancred Brute? Ah, the infamous Tancred. She rescued some rangers on one of the patrols behind the ABB. She paid an awful price, but now she's a legend. She was only put into the mobrium recently. She shouldn't be on duty yet, but firstly, they're making a holo movie about her, and secondly, she wanted to be. She has therapeutic programs installed that sort of take over communication if she becomes too stressed or relaxed. Supposedly, it's to hasten her recovery. Okay. Can I speak to you again? No. Okay, I'm gonna try and hack the Metabot. Hack it. Hacks. What do I need to do? What do we reckon? I think we need to... It said the defense system would activate if I tried to use something that was more complex than my own equipment. So maybe I should use private resources? The computer? I overloaded the system, my own system. I needed to find a resource with higher processing power. Okay. Figure out how to hack devices. Okay. Well, hack it. In order to hack the Metabot, I needed to have access to the city network. Realistic system admin credentials would have been nice too. Okay, can I forget where I saved. I'm going to create another save. And then load the quick save. I think I quick saved right before. But I'm not sure. And I don't want to go back. Yeah, okay. So we're going to try and hack this way instead. Forget trying to learn the, you know, the password. Let's just try and hack the old-fashioned way. Hack it. Packs. Don't use my own system. Use the city network resources. By location. That's not it. That's one. Okay, there we go. City network resources by location 50. You should be able to use the same one, right? Wait, back? MCC? That's not real. 45. That's real. There we go. It worked. I had access to the Medibot. The Medibot's indicators flashed. Its legs swayed and it greeted its new owner. Access granted. Take control. Hey! Right, now I'm going to feed it a battery. Yeah, install the found battery. Something was wrong, it was stuck. Force the battery? I braced and pushed it with all my strength against the stuck piece of metal. It gave way, a grinding noise, let off some sparks, and then something hissed. Medibot explicitly protested and died. Alright, so you don't just try and force a battery in, apparently. Right. Hack it. Packs. Network resources. Wait, it was 47 Rami. There we go. Followed by by this one, and then Outranger. There we go. Take control. Hello. Check the latest scans. The dialog box told me the last patient to be scanned by the Medibot was Sir Samuel Pax. I clicked the button that displayed the report. All it needed was a cursory glance. The chest x-ray revealed a tumour situated in the primary bronchi, along with multiple metastatuses. The Latin diagnosis didn't leave much hope. Stem cell cancer, even gave an estimated time he had left. 6 months, 12 days and 9 hours. Install the found battery. Give up and toss the battery. Figured it was just a piece of junk. Okay. Wait, we're down a battery now? Now this thing had a battery I could take, right? Yeah, remove battery. These are very user-friendly devices. I studied the manual engraved on the armor, pressed some sensors, waited for the panel to move aside, and watched as the battery slid into my hands. The beacon began, an emergency system shut down. I watched it turn itself off and walked away. Battery. I can charge it. I uncovered the Medibot's charging socket, took the MCC beacon battery from my pocket and plugged it in. The power cell charge gate flashed green. Wonderful. Leave. Oh wait, I could have it disinfect me now so that I can speak to the other guy. Let's do that. Disinfect me. Getting disinfected after some dumpster diving felt like a good idea. I gave the command, the Medibot aimed its flaps at me and sprayed me down with aerosol. If by magic the mist removed any dirt from my skin and clothes, a moment later I already smelled like a sterile doctor's office. Wonderful. So now I have this. I can head back over here and speak to you. The drone operator was browsing some windows I couldn't see and kept glancing at his walktail. I could see boredom in his every move. Buddy, you have no idea what kind of shithole I'm in right now. He was talking to someone on the line. His accent was strange. It was Australian. Wait. And what's up with Martinez? Well, well, you guys are making bank. Sure, I want to hang out, but you know how it is. I told you. Oh, wait. Yeah, 5 more years of this garbage. I can't stand this shit, but when I'm done, I'm telling you, it's gonna be one hell of a party. Exactly, my man, and you? He looked over and exaggeratedly rolled his eyes. Wait, I got some native who wants something. Maybe a smoke? Heh, yeah, I'll deal with it. Take care, Han. Well, I'm all ears. What you want? This time he was definitely addressing me. Who are you? I know nothing about you. Tell me something. We typically say, what's your story? Well, it's funny, sad, and a bit messed up, but I think that's normal at this age. Alright. Dark web. Rama Matan. Age 27, gender M. Function, drone operator. What does K mean? I'm not entirely sure what K means. Anyway. Biophysical data. No allergies. Physiological and informational metabolism in the 80th percentile. Correct body response to pheromone implants. Biographical data. Born and raised in Sydneyland. Heir to the Matan fortune. Biodevice and Archiflora sector. See bioestates. Personality traits. Bacteriophobe with mild organophobia, a clear aversion to lower social strata, evident dislike for his grandmother, his father's mother, Delia Matan, reason unknown. Notes, admitted to Outrangers only after strong persuasion from his father, who contributed a considerable sum to the organization's budget. Until Rama accepts working in a formation, his active participation in more dangerous operations outside the ABBs is inadvisable. Extended psychological profile, insufficient permissions. Okay. And then we learned about Ilgen. Illusion Generator. Ilgens are devices that generate holograms in the air. Unlike three-dimensional AR animations, these holograms can be seen with the naked eye. Even though Ilgen animations are usually semi-transparent and far from perfect, they're becoming more and more popular. And Walktel. The latest Walktel model. Although the market has recently been dominated by Omnix and the recently introduced Obicoins, the Walktel business is still going strong. Analysts claim that sales figures will stay high for the next 5 years, especially among middle and lower class buyers. That said, the new Neoya model revealed yesterday by Wheeler's Gears could become an object of desire for members of any class, at least that's what the experts believe. It's hard to say they're wrong. First of all, it's an actual device that you can hold in your hand, and I'll always emphasize what a big plus that is. Not everyone likes having a telesense, because that's what Omnix and Obicoins are, and nobody will convince me otherwise, glued to their forehead or wearing one on their wrist. Secondly, Neoya not only has an internal display that you can magnify up to 10 times with your glasses, but also generates an additional external display, not as sharp and pretty as the first one, but definitely readable. I'm not talking about AR, Neoya has a small built-in Ilgen. The device, similar to Omnix and all modern Walktel models, synchronizes not only with glasses but also with lenses. So you don't want to use your internal or generated display, if you don't want to use your internal or generated display, you can admire the visual fireworks on your own personal gear. And now for the best part. Neoya activates pressure receptors on your fingertips, allowing you to feel the AR buttons that you are clicking, just like Omnix and Obicoins do. You did it again, Wheeler Gears. They've taken sensing, filming, and all other media activities to a new level. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a new Walktel. Cool. Right. Compliment his appearance. Honestly, you look more like a model than an Outranger. First thing I noticed, that's why I'm asking. I'm not cut out for this shit, right? Okay, I was gonna tell you to get lost, but if you're that perceptive, I'll talk. We typically say, what's your story? Mine is funny, sad, and a bit messed up, but I think that's normal at this age. At this age, you don't look old. If I still looked old after the money I'd spent, I'd actually be a bit fucking pissed. Alright, what age are you? Okay, I have a rather forward question. How old are you? Ugh, if you don't mind, I'll just smoothly evade that question. So yeah, what do you want? Tell me about Ken's death. Let's ask about Ken Zhao's death. That man, Ken Zhao. The operator jumped and shifted his gaze away from the screens I couldn't see. Ken Zhao? Hold up, buddy. You tell me that we're at the crime scene of Ken fucking Zhao? Sorry, pal, but I literally love that guy. Because he was a sports player for good or bads. We'll let it go. I nodded and decided to leave him be. Oh, but I was hoping there'd be more to the conversation. Okay, leave. We don't need access to the drone because we already have access to the drone. Right, Ken's body. Perform surgery using Medabot. I glanced at the battery level. I had to choose wisely, as each use of the Medabot required energy. Conduct a brain scan? I selected the brain scan option. The Medabot turned on something akin to a floodlight, casting a faint light, and began the procedure. The device screen reported the procedure was successful. I looked at the data. Before he died, Ken had strongly stimulated visual interpretive fields and a distinct pattern of bridge activity. Only one state could produce this result. Devitalization. It looked like Ken died while playing. Okay. Brain sample? So what's our clue? It's for accident. Strange brain condition. Okay. I gave the command. A thin metallic I gave the command, a thin metallic tentacle slid out of the Medabot's arm and up Ken's nose. After a moment I heard the quiet, high-pitched sound of a surgical drill. The Medabot's tentacle slid out of the dead man's nose, sprayed the tip with disinfectant foam and tucked it inside the apparatus. The dialogue box said the device had collected the sample. Okay. I was hoping it would do something with it, but that's okay. Blood test? I slid to the blood test option from the panel. Something whirred inside the Medabot and the indicators lit up. One of the Medabot's arms approached Ken's neck and pricked a vein. I heard the sound of pistons working. The display said the blood had congealed, but it had been drawn and was being analysed. I needed to check the results when they were ready. Do I do a bone scan? Seems unnecessary, but we could do it. The device beeped and activated the scanners. Ken's skeleton began to appear in one of the windows. He looked normal, no visible fractures or cracks. Alright, stop the examination. Leave. Can we speak to you again? Analyze the blood test results. I looked at the readouts. There were no signs of psychoactive substances, be they plex or chemical. Okay. So no trace of psychoactive substances here. Okay. Brain sample analysis. The device displayed a long list of complicated messages. At the end was a summary with a particularly odd sentence. The neurons in the analyzed sample exhibit symptoms of brain nerve cells subjected to devitalization. Seed control. Right, it'll float back now. Game hypothesis. The brain wasn't revitalized. Looked as if he'd been devitalized before he died, as if he was playing a game. Okay. Who do we need? Can we speak to you again? No. Okay. So what else could I do? This advertising drone? I could bombard Tancred with information. I don't know why I would want to do that, but I could do it. Can I speak to you now? No. But I could bombard Tancred with information. It has no battery because of what I did. Okay, that makes sense. Hello. Leave. I don't need to provoke him to fight. 1, 2... Yeah, you. Sergeant Corn. Okay, nothing from you. Been everywhere else. We've been there. The only thing we've got left is to bombard Tancred, I think. Let's do it. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to speak to Pax. Nope. That's fine. You two got anything to say? Nope. You? Nope. Okay. Let's do it. Positive. I confirmed the set of ads and directed the signal straight to Tancred's brain. Does that mean Tancred is now, like, available? Hello. The bird looked me up and down, let out an obnoxious squawk. I actually want to do the opposite then. I want negative thoughts, because that went the other way. Probably double a lot of negative thoughts, but let's go with it. Negative set. Okay. We're just basically changing the mental state with adverts. Yeah, we need to do that again. Okay. And if we were a brain fixer, we could just do it. Okay. Negative set. Leave. Back over here. Hello. It was a huge mobrium. I'd never seen a machine like that before. The outranger controlling it was busy with the MCC beacon hovering in front of her. Asked about Ken's death. How do you think Ken died? I don't know, but it wasn't the beacon. The cat may know something. It's got access to the part of my psyche from which I'm currently separated. Cat would be more negative then. Okay. Let's go more negative. Leave. So we're sending a lot of negative ads over here. Hello. A semi-transparent cat appeared at the mobrium's feet and started licking its paw. It had to be yet another projection. Hello there. My, what wonderful weather we're having. We haven't been introduced yet, have we? I'm Behemoth, and you are... tell me about Ken's death. I was told you know something about Ken's death, is that right? My friend, you come here for favours without even a drop of booze or any respect for the rule of quid pro quo. How rude. I think you're a reasonable person, someone who could help Tancred with my assistance. For that, we need the function key from her Mobrium. If you were to stumble upon it and bring it back, I'd be grateful. Tancred would be grateful, of course. Mobriums? Function key. Listen, I'm kind of a newbie when it comes to Mobrium, so new to most people. It's a new technology. Not that new. It's like, what, 2 years old? And how many Mobriums have you seen so far? I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20? Do you have any friends in Mobriums? Well, no, that's why I wanted to ask you a question. Mobriums normally have vegetative software, right? Just like humans, our nervous system is divided into the central, peripheral, and vegetative subsystems. The last one's responsible for blood pressure control, breathing, pulse, temperature, digesting, and so on. And Mobrium's vegetative system controls the temperature of the joint, stresses, battery, power consumption, etc. Right, and then there's the safe software and the apps that connect the contents of the safe. That is the brain or the Rendan of the Mobrium, right? Yes? Correct. And you said that you're a newbie? Well, I still don't know what one thing does. What was its name? The function key. Oh, that. It's actually quite simple. If you don't like something about the software settings, etc., you can use this simple tool instead of messing with the crystals. You just insert it into the slot and gain access to all the Mobrium's functions and programs. Everything's presented in a simple menu. You don't even need to have coding experience. Making changes is really easy. I thought the Mobrium's user has their menu sort of inside and can do everything from within. They can. Say you're a newbie again and I'll smack you. Well, I still have questions, don't I? Yes, you do. The function key is a backup tool, you know, in case the internal menu ever fails. It's more hardware-based than software-based, really. Generally, most Mobrium users don't use them. Some don't even know they have them. They never take them out of their thigh compartments. The producer always sends you 2 spares, just in case. So when do you use them? In 2 scenarios. First, your internal menu doesn't work. You just insert the key into the slot, then restore and fix whatever you need. Second, your Mobrium jams, breaks, or freezes. Can that happen? Anything can happen. In such a case, your friend takes the key from your thigh compartment, inserts it, performs a reset, and that's it. You're good. Backup. Let's ask about it. Where can I find it? Maybe it's in one of the compartments on our Mobrium? I'm not sure. You see, I don't have access to that part of her mind. I only know she doesn't have it on her. Must have lost it or something. He licked his paw and looked at me. Alright. Turning his head, his pupils dilated. In that moment, he reminded me of a small, helpless kitten. Well, let's give her a bit of positive reinforcement and have another chat. Right. Cool, leave. Back over to Tancred. Hello. I think I might need to go further. Yeah, I might need to go all the way to Parrot. Alright. Another 2 positive sets. Unless somebody else is likely to have it, and the only person who might be likely to have it would be someone like the captain. A duck, right? A fucking weird-ass bird is the best you can do. And that's that. Who has the function key? Tancred's function key. Who could have it? Rather, who does Tancred consider her friend? Probably that beacon guy. His name is Venom. Fucking Venom. Venom goddamn Vera. I'm serious, that's his name. Alright, well let's go and speak to Venom. Who is over here. Hello. I'd like Tancred's function key. I'm looking for Tancred's function key. Yeah, what for? The cat needs it. I was talking to this cat. Said he needs it to finish therapy. That cat, Behemoth, is a liar. Don't believe a word, anything he says. If you ask for the key, I won't give it to you. No way. Hello. I was gonna just ask again, just be like, can I have the key? Alright, I don't think we need the key. I think we kind of already know what's going on. Yeah, well, I don't know. I kind of want the key. I'll admit, I want it. We'll just lie. We'll say Tancred wants it. I don't know. We're probably going to do something very bad to Tancred right about now. I kind of want it. Hello. It's for Ken. Tancred lost it. Well, isn't it obvious? I'm after it because she lost it and asked me to help. She's busy with the film crew. She's been out of it lately. Not good. Probably why she gave me the spare. Here, take it. And tell her not to lose any more stuff. Okay. Advertising drone. We're after a lot of negative feelings here. Leave. Okay, back over this way. Hello. The matter of the function key. Insert it into the port. Insert the key. The indicators lit up and the cat observed approvingly. Oh, thank you, kind sir. This will surely help. Tancred will be thrilled with the world I made for her. Oh right, about that poor fool. He came here, flew around, but he was also in another world. Get it, realistic human. Ken died in-game. Oh. Kneel before Behemoth, you lousy meatbags. Hey Tancred, sorry for neglecting you, but it's a mess today. You get it. You haven't seen half of it, you poor woman. Excuse me? What? I didn't say anything. I mean... You must have misheard me, my dear friend. I'm so lucky that you watch out for me. Now, I'm sorry, I need to get back to my unimportant organic work. Right. I get it, I think. Goodbye, then. Say goodbye to your pathetic, organized civilization. Excuse me? Bye, dear. So that didn't actually give us any deduction stuff? Nah, okay, I'm gonna reload it. I appreciate that the path that was taking us down, but as it didn't give us anything for deduction, I think that we'd rather not have killer robots going around. Right, so we found everything we can, I think. Let's make some deductions, and then, yeah, we can see where it takes us. So, MCC beacon. We have all the information we need. Now, I didn't see any plasma things. The beacons don't make mistakes. This one's just nonsense, right? It's just straight up nonsense. It didn't shoot him, and it's nonsense. Just straight up, don't bother about it. Accident. First high, then crashed. He wasn't high. He didn't have an overdose. The fall was not the cause of his death, so this hypothesis makes no sense. Okay, gunshot. He was definitely shot. It was the cause of death. He was still moving when we saw the gunshot go off. I believe that he was in a game. Okay. And this brings us into here. How did Ken die? Okay, beacon didn't shoot Ken. Gunshot wound was the cause of death. He didn't die from the fall and wasn't on drugs. He was killed with a weapon from a game, or he died inside a game. I don't believe he was killed with a weapon from a game. Somebody shot Ken. I think that seems right. Somebody shot Ken. Just see if we need to go anywhere else, or whether we just make that decision. There was a guy over here? No, okay. I was thinking of the demo. There was a guy over here that we need to speak to, but I think that that might be after this decision. So the obvious answer is he was murdered. He wasn't. We have no real proof he was killed with a weapon from a game at all. So, murder. We can't say he was in a game though, but that's fine. Psychoscan. Okay. Hello. The man had a keen look and a mysterious smile. He came over to me and his smile widened. Oh, here you are. Been looking all over for you. Sorry it took for so long. Excuse me, where are my manners? Senior Specialist, Hiru Hamalo. I'm the insurer of the deceased. Where were you? A fenced-off crime scene is a small area. Where were you that you couldn't find me? Also, where are we in now? Are we in this one? No, okay, that's fine. Did you know that if we look at our body's molecules, questions like where or when begin to lose their meaning? Interesting, isn't it? Either way, I'm sure you've already found your answers. They may be incomplete, but we should probably check Ken's psychoscan, don't you think? It so happens I have it right here. That was the first thing I did when I got here. I want to give it to you. Let's call it a reward. Let's just sign the so-called paperwork so you can go home, okay? Psychoscan. Psychoscans differ in quality and use. Deep one. This scan maps the structure of the neural network and glial cell network. Includes all synaptic connections and the quality of those connections, types of neurotransmitters and synapses. Deep psychoscans allow us to recreate the scanned person's brain in the form of a Rendan. Security psychoscan. This scan is superficial and performed to confirm or refute the identity of a person who wants access to an area protected by the psychoscanning device. This procedure was much more precise and reliable than retina scanning. V-psychoscan. This scan allows us to create V-ghost of the person. The procedure takes much longer than a standard psychoscan. It requires consent of the scanned person, involves asking a series of questions as well as putting them in a series of emotional states. A V-psychoscan is performed by companies specializing in producing V-ghosts. V-psychoscans can be performed on a deceased person shortly after their demise, but a V-ghost will never be as faithful to the original as scanning a living person. All other kinds of psychoscans only allow us to create highly flawed forms of V-ghosts. Medical psychoscan. These scans are performed by Metabots and advanced medical equipment. Their purpose is to determine the patient's condition. They can confirm or rule out mental disorders or disease or illnesses using intoxicants or plexes. Advertising psychoscan. These superficial psychoscans allow us to confirm the identity and analyze consumption preferences of the scanned person. They're performed by advertising drones. Military psychoscan. These scans are performed by police, military, and outranger drones. They are more thorough than advertising psychoscans, closer to deep psychoscans, but not as precise. Alright, no. I'm not signing anything. Oh, that's a pity. I understand you wish to acquire a scan on your own. In that case, you should try your luck with a drone, Metabot, or this advertising shit. I suggest you hurry up, in case you have any problems or change your mind, remember that my offer still stands. Feel free to come back. I already have his psychoscan. Hello? I already have it. Fuse. Like, I already got it. Didn't I? Yeah, like I literally already have his psychoscan. I scanned his brain. Let me go check the Metabot again. I'm sure I scanned his brain. Take control. No? Okay. I don't know. I was sure that I guess maybe I could see control here. There we go. I'm sure I already had his psychoscan, but whatever. I guess we're stuck in a situation where we have to get it done. It's a quick save. Sign it. I nodded and Hamalao displayed a window of documents in front of me. I stamped my IN. Fantastic. Here's your scan. There you go. You can go home now. Same way you got here. Working with you is a true pleasure. You're already here. Brilliant. Did you find what you're looking for? Perfect. Perfect. Now be on your way. You seem nervous. Why are you so jumpy? I'm not jumpy. I just want to fly home. As do you. Isn't that right? Go on quickly now. Observe. I wondered what his deal was. So what? Are you leaving? I'll mention the conversation with Naba. We're still talking, though I'm being rushed. She looked straight through Hamalao and sent me a glance that showed disgust and concern. People do say that Gamedec's have many work-related disorders, but hey, no judgment, we also struggle. What? I opened my mouth to speak, but something suddenly tugged at my arm. My legs buckled, the world spun, and I felt a rush of heat in my shoulder. Oh, we've just been shot. Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? My shoulder was numb and swollen. Someone applied gel dressing to the spot where my sleeve was ripped. What happened? Did you see anything? Not really, it's a gunshot wound. I treated it, but I didn't see the shooter. Venon saw someone run into the bar, but they were far away, so he didn't get a good look. We should have guarded the fucking entrance. Hira Hamalu. We were talking about it when it happened. He might have seen something. Where is he? Sorry, Hiru who? Victim's insurance agent. Real uptight. He was hanging around here, remember? He must be in shock after getting shot. There wasn't anyone like that here. I'd remember a stranger hanging around the crime scene. Search the bar for the shooter. Just be careful. It may look like a scratch, but the shockwave of a subsonic bullet is no joke. Your deltoid muscle is really swollen. Subsonic? Did you hear a bang? Neither did I. So we could return to the apartment and read Ken's psychoscan, or we can go into the bar. Interesting. We have two different choices here. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.